My understanding of order flow ranges lends to proper results, or lends to my methodology on a whole. Now, this video I intend to just address what I regard as order flow ranges and how I go about playing them. Hopefully, it'll be a shorter one indeed. So, if you can see my chart, you could probably just go on to live price as is, and we can see a few instances coming out in regards to order flow. What we understand as order flow, that being a clear depiction, or price's clear depiction of its intentions. So price actively showing you where it's likely to go or where it wants to go, say for instance. So we get instances currently, or we get like this specific instance right now where live price at 2:13 p.m. after my session, and we can see a low being formed, well, a high before that low, and then we can see, say for instance, we go up into, I don't know, like these areas, and we kind of retrace a bit, and we create a new high, and then we proceed to clear this low, create a new low, so much that what happens in between this price leg, or this section in price delivery, could be regarded as order flow, because it shows like a clear depiction as to price's intention. Was the intention, say for example, when this low was in place, is that to clear this high or to respect the high, so much that if it had respected the high, then it would have just dipped lower towards this low, as opposed to, say for instance, going and actually clearing the high. And we get a situation happening where we get this low form, we get this high form. The usual course of thought would be, look, let's just respect this low so much that we're looking to play price higher towards these highs. Now we can see that didn't actualize, and it's interesting that it didn't actualize, because when we get into measuring the validity of a range, of an order flow range, we get to see why certain order flow ranges fail and why some of them hold. So we get a situation where if we had to just zoom out or use the trick that I spoke of in the last video, just head over to a higher time frame. This, say for example, we go to the 1 hour and look at price on a bit more holistic view and a little less granular. So we get those instances where, for instance, where we get this low form, we gone up, we fail to actually breach past this low just as yet. So it means that once this high goes, we create a new high, and we reestablish a new order flow range. And the range is represented from order flow range low and the order flow range high. Basically, the highs and lows as a result of price's most recent delivery, for example, that being a low being formed and then subsequently a high being formed. Now what validates the range, as we get into oftentimes is supporting liquidations along with reversals in order flow. So say for example, we're using the 50-minute in this case to get a bit more information. We can understand the moment, say for example, this low that we regard as a low that kind of purporting this high. And we can see, at the moment this low goes, then one could only presume that is regarded as a valid low, or switching order flow in this instance. And this thing, we have this high, we have this low, we have this low going, signifying that the order flow might be switching. So instead of us, say for example, reaching towards highs, we instead clear the most recent high or most recent low, for instance, where the expectation was just for price to continue running highs, and instead we begin putting in, say for example, bearish order flow, where lows are being targeted at this instance. So we kind of getting further into this understanding of order flow ranges, where we could call a situation happening where this could be represented as a valid range from this, if it would just, from these lows to these highs, and we could represent it by, drawing out say for instance 80%, yeah, 80% of this quote unquote order flow range, so much that the expectation will be for price to just run towards D size. Now it's interesting because on one hand one could presume that yeah, this is a valid trade for longs. But when we take certain context into place, then we understand why it is that certain order flow ranges will hold and certain order flow ranges would not hold in the slightest. And we could get like a steady understanding where this is concerned. Let me see if I zoom out a bit. Yeah, we could get a steady understanding where this is concerned if we just had to take a look at let me go back to say for example the moment this new high was put in place, this new quote unquote all-time high was put in place. If we get a situation where the last high that we could have regarded as valid, or not valid, but as the objective, as per order flow, as per understanding prices intentions in regards to its delivery, then we can say that look, the moment this high goes, we get a new, say for example, all-time high on Dow. So much that, yeah, it is nice. Yeah, so much that the moment we get these little like micro movements in price following, say for example, the clearing of a all-time high, so much that it create a new all-time high, then it gets to a state where these previous or these intermediary or the flow ranges tend to function as liquidity, or tend to function as like those supporting liquidations for the overall order flow range that sits much lower. So say for instance, if I had to keep zooming out. Yeah, so say for instance I had to keep zooming out and we just look at price delivery as is. We can see this high being cleared, and the next step would be to what? Look and see how we could actually get position. But just forget positioning and just focusing on order flow. We could see, or if I had to just depict it with one of these, we could see highs being cleared. So the expectation is for highs to continue being cleared. But in those instances like this, where we had an all-time high being cleared, or new high being put in place, then it gets to the state where the higher we go within, or the closer we get, the closer to clearing out the objective, the less valid some of these intermediary order flow range lows or order flow ranges become. So let me just go into charts, say for example on a smaller time frame to get a bit more context. We can see, say for example, the high was cleared, and it was cleared due to this low. So we got this low in place, we clear the high, say for example, if you're just looking at it from a granular perspective, right, on the 1 hour 50 minute, don't matter. But the intention now is, say for example, we're looking to continue play high, playing higher, but operating under the understanding that the moment an order flow range respects or fulfills its objective, then any intermediary order flow ranges or subsidiary order flow ranges are function as liquidity or supporting liquidations to a certain extent. Whereas like instead of me looking to get position from them, I can look to target them. Why would I target them? Because context and understanding of prices delivery would allow you to think, you know what, as we move higher or as we move closer into like untapped territory or uncharted territory, it gets to a stage where anything that looks too obvious in regards, let me just move this off, anything that looks too obvious in regards to it being valid range, like say for example we're respecting these lows to keep on going higher, then oftentimes they function as traps or set up, so to speak. Set you up in such a way that make you think, you know what, let us continue playing higher for the sole reason that I understand order flow ranges, and because say for instance this create a valid low or a valid high, I should play within the range to go higher. But context trumps everything from my understanding. So when we know for certain that the story that's being told is like, wait, we get an instance where we get an instance where a low or no a previous high was not taken out, so much that we created a new all-time high, as has happened like with this instance. And it's like the moment this high goes, and we indeed create new order flow ranges highs, or new order flow ranges, so much so that you're clearing highs, then it speaks to the fact that, you know what, these order flow ranges that are now being created are invalid, are functional as traps. It feels I repeat the same thing like 12 times, but I hope the idea is related properly. So if you just move into, say for example, prices delivery, right? Price at 3x. If you move into prices delivery, you can see that this is slow, but this could be regarded as a range low. This could be regarded as a range high, intermediary. But if you keep on moving and understanding that, wait, we're just clearing highs, we're just clearing highs, we're just clearing highs, and we just clear out, well, the previous all-time high and made a new one. So it speaks to the fact that, you know what, we could be switching momentum, and that's where more or less the switching order flow come in, where the expectations of price will continue running highs, but the moment the leg that propagates the idea of highs being, say for example, targeted or continued, the moment that low goes, then we could say, you know what, is a switching order flow that's valid, and we can begin looking to position ourselves for shorts in this instance, or position yourself opposite. So I really hope that explanation stuck, and you get like an understanding as to how I view order flow ranges and how I use order flow ranges to position myself properly, given the market's context, and given my intention to play in accordance with order flow, or play in accordance with how price is indeed moving. I hope that was clear. I really hope that was clear. But we move, and if I kind of just before we close off, just kind of look into this this specific instance where we had this low propagating this high. So the expectation is for when price mitigates within this as an order flow range, and it will just go towards these highs. But we get a situation happening where this low fails to perform its objective, or to fill its objective, which will be to clear the highs. So we get a situation where we create a low, we create a high, and then we continue to create lows and highs and lows and highs, so much that now we can see a situation happening where lows are now being disrespected and highs being respected, so much that the trade idea warrant shorts. Hence why shorts are taken in this instance and throughout the remainder of September. Yeah, the last month that passed. It's really interesting when you understand order flow ranges. If you found the video helpful or useful in any way, leave a comment. Yeah, leave a comment in the description saying, well, text box below saying OFR. Just type in OFR. That way I know for certain that someone has watched these 13-14 minutes. Yeah, 13 or 14 minutes. Have a good one, and always remember that it's way too calm.